Yo. No Jeremy. But no problem. Will's here. Blurry. What's going on here? There we go. HD Will is here. Ready to talk through start sits, offseason trades, last minute trades in your leagues with no deadline, heading into championship week. Interesting slate of games. We've got the Christmas games going on. I need Jeremy to balance out the focus for me. Interesting week of games. We've got obviously the Christmas slate, Saturday, Sunday, championship week. What is up? How we doing, Owen? Can I interest you in the playoff Panthers? Oh man, I wish Jeremy was here live to fully embrace the excitement of the Panthers getting a key playoff win, as my Detroit Lions could not get the keyest of wins and now need to win out and have the Packers lose out. But it sounds like we're going to get Jeremy on LinkedIn liking the Victory Monday posts. Let's go. Love to see it. How we doing? I made a big trade in Alpha Daddy. I'll pull up and talk about. Nothing I love more than talking about my own leagues. Not going to talk about my Detroit Lions unless you guys are going to make me. It's okay. We're here to talk fantasy. So let us know, or let me know. Dang, I just did the us. R.I.P. Jeremy's out there somewhere watching on his phone or something. Okay, Owen. I know it. It's okay. We can, let's get to the trades. I know Justin had a trade pop in here. Let's start there. Justin Tech in before I had the stream overlay set up with the PPR start to London Lad Bucky. Dude, the Buckster he's freaking me out a little bit. Obviously, Herbert balling out. They get the tough matchup against Houston this week. I think London is a lock for me. Bucky is tough. I think the overall workload and the amount of touches you get from Bucky and the total team total, I think I need to go London Bucky, but he just does not have the touchdown upside that we saw last season at all. I still believe in the talent of Bucky, but with some of the Bucks injuries as well, it's definitely sketchier. And I do like Lad. So I think Lad and Bucky's a little bit of a toss-up. London is going to be a lock for me. I'm sticking with Bucky, but I am totally forfeiting that he is more in the RB 20 range than a top 10 RB that I would have locked in heading into the season. All right, Merry Christmas. I appreciate it. We get the Merry Christmas message. Thank you. That means a lot. Whew. Trust Jefferson week 17. I don't think you can. You can because it's the Lions, but a must-win game. You get Brosmer back there. It's definitely sketchy. Fannin or Wilson. Hard to not roll with Fannin. You get no Quinshawn this week as well. Like, even in sketchy volume, the overall target share he's been getting. Who's the Wilson? Man, Michael Wilson? I'd play Michael Wilson. Is that Michael Wilson? I know he only had a couple catches last game, but man, Cincinnati, that could be a total shootout. And I think it has the highest total on the slate. So yeah, I'm totally fine with playing Michael Wilson. And even in no tight end premium, I might even lean Fannin as well. The Brosper makes it extra sketchy. If it just was because it was a pretty decent game for JJ, even though the Vikings offense was terrible, but yeah, it's going to be tough, even though the Lions defense can definitely not be trusted. But I have no issues playing Michael Wilson over Justin Jefferson at this point. I know we had a live stream ask. I can pull that up. I do have it. It's in the Discord. I forget. No, Jeremy here. A little peel behind the curtain. I usually got Jeremy on the Discord. That's how we do the little cam share overlay. So I got a different setup going. He's out there somewhere, doing some holiday festivities, hanging with the fam, celebrating the Panthers' victory, getting ready for the playoff push. All the love to them. All right, here we go. I don't have a honestly, I don't do a great job of passing over to Jeremy to stall when I do need somebody to stall for me. So I'm kind of doing the same thing I'd be doing anyways. Here we go. Oh, Dabba Doobie in the chat. Well, look who it is. The Alpha Daddy Championship final is set. Who else but the hero, yours truly, Will, in the finals against the villain, Dabba Doobie. Should be a final for the ages. You had a pretty crazy... Yeah, you got the T-Law going. T-Law Puka JSN is sketchy. 100%. And you get Jacoby in the Cincinnati game. You've got a pretty solid team. But I'm making some last minute adjustments. Trying to come to the table to compete with Puka with no Devontae Adams and JSN. We'll see what I can do. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll talk about a trade I just made to hopefully secure the Alpha Daddy inaugural championship. But I'll take it over to Polly's question here, and I think it's a pretty fun one right here. Oh dang. Miss y'all A. Miss y'all too. Oof. I'm actually kind of spooked to go display capture. I got an idea, guys. Wait a second here. Wait a second. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Everyone be cool. All right? You guys gonna be cool? Promise? Here's what we're doing. You're gonna get the massive subscriber count box. Bang. What do you think about that, guys? Too weird? It's freaking you guys out? Just be cool, okay? Wait, this is this is kind of funny. I actually am supposed to be sharing the display, and instead it's sharing his same team or a different team from the same guy. That freaked me out. Yeah, man. Okay, I'll do the Lions thing. Okay, real quick. Now that I got this set up, I'll do the Lions thing. I let out my sad Lions boy tweet. I am slightly upset about the pick play thing. You know, those get called. Sometimes it happens. I think it was debatable. You know, obviously it's the play design is a pick play. I'm not going to deny that. I don't think it was egregious. The defensive back had his hands on Tesla as he's making that cut across. I think they could have definitely let that go. They call it. It's fine. I'm not too sad about the OPI. Jalen Ramsey flops back. It was OPI. You know, I get it. Goff jumping into the end zone. Can we get some coolness points for Jared freaking Goff leaping into the end zone to try and salvage the Lions season? What upsets me the most, 30 seconds. You have a timeout. You're at the 1 yard line and you don't run the ball, man. I know our running game is terrible. It's 1 yard. And you run a pick play. A pick play at the 1 yard line, man. A pick play at the 1 yard line where you know you're risking the penalty. Oh, man. I was sad and I was like, let me just go to a Becca message I see out of the corner of my eye. And it's just a high. I lost in all my leagues. Dang, I am sorry to hear that. But, you know, there's always next year. I was trying to come up with something different than there's always next year. I'm not going to get too deep into the sadness across my leagues. I think the saddest thing that I'll talk about other than Lions loss is I had a league. This is like a super team. I love this team. And I have Mahomes, and it's juiced QB scoring. Tears his ACL. I still win the Mahomes ACL tear game. Next week, I need a quarterback. And who do I pick up and find on waivers? But the Gardner Minshew, who also tears his ACL, and I lose by like 20 points, which is right where an actual scoring quarterback would be. It's okay. Well, can you draft one of my leagues next year? Jeremy can draft the other. We'll see who wins. 100%. I love being like a redraft, the redraft doctor. I need to find a better phrase than that. That sounds kind of weird. But I'll have people that kind of know I'm not going to say expert, but they know I'm obsessive. I think I'm more obsessive than I am an expert, but they know I'm obsessive about fantasy. And so I will get texts from friends. Hey, I'm on the clock. Snapchats, FaceTime calls. Help me out here. I'm all about it. I love redraft. I've got love out there for redraft, even though it's the Dynasty channel. Also, I missed this. Right back at you. All right, I need to move myself past the Detroit Lions. Here we go. This is a fun question. I'm setting up here. Looking for at least one running back for the ship playing Mr. Taco. We'll take a look at that matchup in a second. League is pretty low traded activity. I remember this from the past couple of weeks. Inbox offer is Rice, Rome, Tootin, the 111, 112 for Gibbs, Derrick Henry, and Debo. I think the other manager uses KTC as a gauge for trade value. So you are giving up Rice. I don't hate this. And it's mostly a Gibbs thing. Josh Allen, Dak, Goff, Jacoby, man, it's so. I remember this from last week that we were really trying to find a way to turn one of these QBs into a running back, but I get the low trade activity league, obviously at the tail end of the playoffs. Nobody's looking to acquire these aging quarterbacks, and Jacoby is too sketchy of a proposition, even though you'd think it'd be easy to buy running backs. So you'd be keeping this Chase, Amon-Ra, Nico core, and Debo is your fourth receiver. It's so tough because I want to tell you just find a way to get a grosser RB2 or just be fine. Like, I don't hate playing Michael Carter. Cincinnati matchup. He is in it could very well be a three-way split. Obviously, DeMarcado. And how about Kiner getting some run? I don't know if you guys saw. They were getting pretty pumped. Gannon was kind of freaking out at some good Kiner carries. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. Arizona kind of out of it. Them giving some run to let's see what this backfield's going to look like next year. I don't know. What do we think, guys? I don't hate this one. I kind of want to go to KeepTradeCut though and kind of mess around with some other trades. Does Debo have to be a part of it? And does Derrick Henry have to be a part of it? Like, is there a way we just turn into Gibbs and some better depth we feel better about, since we're going to be losing two receivers in the room? So it's the Gibbs guy, Mr. Pizza, trying to make sure you take down Mr. Taco. Love that. HN here. Pickens, A. Is there any chance? Probably not. But is there any chance that we find a way to get Burden back in the deal? And he's going to have a Drake London, George Pickens, A. Flowers, Rice, Rome, wide receiver room. What does he need Luther Burden for? You know? Like, I would love to have Burden as the fourth receiver in this room. Chase, Amon-Ra, Nico. And then you have Bijan Gibbs. That's nasty. And the 111, 112, especially on a team that doesn't have holes. Like, I don't want to give up depth, but you have all your 27 picks, so I don't hate that deal. I would honestly be fine taking that deal, but I would try to see if I could finagle getting like Burden or something back. Yo, what is up? Diaz. How we doing? Diaz, how was your semifinals overall? How are you feeling? What are the overall Diaz vibes? And this is sad. Wow. It's muscle memory for me to go back to the stream main dash duo page after I'm getting out of the display capture. Wow. That was sad. We all know the fiasco of Jeremy trying to draft for me, so I have high hopes for you. I appreciate that. And, you know, Jeremy, he got you to the dance, right? Like, there were some not questionable picks, but, you know, controversial picks, I remember. Got you there. Massacred? Oof. What did it for you? For me, I lost with a Puka team, but I had a decent amount of Puka, which was nice. I lost one Puka semis, which hurt real bad because I love the team and it's a nasty team. And I'm 100% locking in third place. But played against Chase Brown And I was saying I had Mahomes. It's QB juice scoring. I had Mahomes last week, lost him to the ACL, and I start Gardner Minshew in his place in the super flex spot. Woof. Lamar. Dude, I have a Lamar, Josh Allen QB room team. That's gave me like 11 fantasy points total. That was brutal. 6 of 22. That's tough. It's the we were talking about it last week, and this is not something you want to say to somebody who just told you that they're 6 of 22 semis heading into the finals. But this is why, man, you just get to the dance, you know? People get too sketchy about there's a super team, you know? I need to trade all of my good scoring pieces and turn them into picks for the future. Like 100%, there's merit to doing that in certain cases. But I think a lot of people, you know, have CMC and they see a team that's better than them and they're like, oh, I need to trade CMC. What if he dies next season? And it's like, okay, what if he scores 24 points per game another season? 3 coin flips, 100%, 100%. Down to 2. Ooh, I should count. I'm alive in my favorite redraft league. Shout out to Adam. There's a guy who runs a redraft league every year with me and my friend and all of his like family and friends. And no buy-in. This guy just buys a jersey for whoever the winner is. And I'm in the finals. I've never won this league before, but I'm in the finals this year. Let's go. Oh, this is nasty. T-Law, Purdy, Brissett. Woof. I don't know how you can sit T-Law right now, and I don't want to sit Jacoby against the Bengals. The pass rate was lower this last game, but I wouldn't be too sketched out about that overall. I don't want to sit any of these guys, man. Potentially, if we get no Pearsall and no Kittle, then I could see... Man, I don't want to say sit Purdy. Jacobs. Yeah, Jacobs. I'm coming back to that, Kyle. Jacobs was sad. Who else was sad? Honestly, I feel like it was a lot of guys that you just like can't sit too. Okay, let me look at I need to pull up the full slate of games. You get the Niners at home against Chicago. I can't sit T-Law against the Colts. And then it might be Purdy. I might go T-Law Brisket here. Most times, not even one of my opponents knows it's the lineup tinkering, injuries. Yeah. That's the tough thing too about having like all this depth, like all the Kenneth Walker I sat because I'm like, I've like filled out the running back room around him. And not that I am going to be playing Kenneth Walker this week at all. That's not what I'm saying. But yeah, it's like the playing like Michael Carter over Kenneth Walker, those kind of decisions where I think there's like some decent sound decision making overall and expected role, but it's just the variance. You know, we're not playing projections, we're playing ranges of projections, you know. The McBride too. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Opponent has McBride and I have Marv. I mean, I'm expecting a monster McBride week for anyone that has brought him to the finals. Clear number 1 in my league. Lost off a bye. 0.8. Oh, Lamar, London, St. Brown, and McBride. Oh, that is so nasty. Dude, Lamar's been killer. I'm not out on Lamar. Oof, guys. Also, I'm popping some NyQuil. This might be a shorter stream. I'm at the tail end. It's going to be a Christmas miracle. I'm going to be bouncing back. The sickness hit the Will Sanders FF household. And I'm at the tail end of it, though. Jeremy's probably all snug, fully healthy. You know, playing, what's some Christmas game you think Jeremy's playing right now with the fam? Pulling me up on the TV with him and Becca on their phone watching. What are they playing, guys? What's a good Christmas game? I don't really have like Christmas game family. McBrien Allen. Oof. I appreciate it, Tato. Yeah, it's it you know, it happens. It also, it's a little bit on me. I was like starting to feel a little bit sick, and then my high school basketball alumni game was coming up, and I just have a blast playing that because you get to play pick a basketball with like buddies from high school and against the current varsity and JV team, and yeah, it's as fun as it sounds. GG from Jeremy. I gave you the GG. Oh, God. This is making me sad, man. This reading all the misfortune messages. Losing by 2 points. Second place gets 250. I'm in the same case. Oh, do you guys want to see this? Oh, this is gonna make me sick. Guys, I sat Phillip Rivers for Gardner Minshew. Would I have gotten in? 20 points. Should I not do this? Don't do this, guys. No, I wouldn't have. I would have just lost. Okay. I lost with a Puka James Cook team. Trey McBride, Gardner Minshew, Rico Dowdle, Nico. Ugh. Ah, man. Is this what we're doing, guys? This is the guy. Come on. Oh, we can't change the past. You can't change the past. I know. I can see my red levels. How am I sick? And I'm finally crossing the red levels. We can't change the past, guys. And we can't affect the future. Wait. And we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But what we can do is be present in the present and get our presents. I was cooking there for a second. I think I lost it. But we can lock in on this week, you know? Use the past to affect your future. Bang. There it is. 7-7. Rebuild. Sold my entire old wide receiver corpse. So I was in the final starting Marv, TK, and Shaheed. I started some Shaheed last week, man. I was real pumped to see that punt return touchdown. I thought the roll would improve a little bit. 54% of snaps, man. You saw the jump up to 68 the week before. We get an OT game, 54%. 38-37. He gets a carry for 31 yards. What are we doing? It's all Debo's fault. All right, here we go. Monungai, Knox, Naylor, Musgrave. Okay, Monungai, I'm for sure starting. I think he's looking pretty good. And Niners defense, I'm not terrified of. I mean, I know kind of held JT in check, but that Phillip Rivers Colts offense is a different one than earlier in the season, 100%. Swift, I don't think there's any worries about like Swift not playing or anything, but I think Swift, like, he blew up like a blitz pickup, and I want to say snaps were a little bit different after that. Not that that's like something that's going to drastically change for this next game, but I just think more confidence in Monungai being involved in that. And then, dude, I don't know if I can confidently start Musgrave if we don't get Jordan Love. All right, maybe not even Malik Willis for this next one. Hopefully we don't get either of those quarterbacks. Go Lions. We need 2 Packers losses. Knox, Naylor. I guess Knox, man. Can I start Jalen Naylor? Can I start the wide receiver 3 for the Vikings? With Brosmer back there? I don't think so. Here's the thing that I always tell myself, the PTSD of the interstellar gift, looking. Yeah, I always tell myself that I don't check my opponent's benches. I rarely check my opponent's benches post matchup, right? Like, obviously it's not like, oh, he could have played this guy. Like, okay, like what is that gonna do? I'm not getting closer to make a point. I'm working on my focus here. But that stuff happens with your opponents too. You get the lucky lineup start stuff, you know. It's just it's a beautiful game, man. It's the mystery of fantasy football. I think what I only get bummed when like the process is totally off in my mind. Like, to me, starting Michael Carter over Kenneth Walker, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, the Michael Carter role, workhorse stuff, like, it sounded really good. He's close to 6 yards per carry in this Atlanta game. 2 targets, no catches. Like, I'm not beating myself up over that, like, after 2 dud Kenneth Walker games. But, yeah, there's some stuff that's, I don't know, benching Alec Pierce for Rashid Shaheed. It's like, dude, he had 1 catch for 16 yards. Colts were not throwing the ball, but, maybe there's some, like, I don't know. It's okay. Oh, this one's tough, though, because Brissett played pretty well against Houston, man. That's tough. That's tough. And the weather stuff, I think the weather stuff, to me, I like to verify pregame. So what I did with my Matthew Stafford, where I was even considering benching, I watched it all leading into the game. And then I was like, I need to see it on my television screen. And I pulled it up and I was like, this does not look that bad. Like, I know it's hard to like judge wind and stuff, but I think sometimes weather gets a little bit double counted. Oof, the Kyler. Where's Kyler playing ball next year, guys? I don't think we're doing the Kyler thing. I don't think Will's voice has a Kyler breakdown. -8 from just sacks? Dang, you lose that much? That's crazy. Oof. Let's make each other sad. All right, here we go. There's the message. Can only change the future. That is true. All right, what's here we go. I'll show you guys. Let's do this. Let's make this a little bit future oriented, okay? Ready, guys? Actually, let me mute real quick so I can make. All right, that noise was disgusting. If you guys ever want to hear that, you'll have to sign up for the Dynasty Daddy Patreon or something. All right, here's a trade I just made in the Alpha Daddy League. Shout out to Dabadooby, playing him in the finals. Shout out to Addy Hutz. Man, great matchup. It was a close one, down to the wire. It's a 0.75 tight end premium. We're heading into Monday Night Football, and I was feeling pretty good. I'm up like 40-ish, and he has Alec Pierce. Yep, Alec Pierce and Tyler Warren. So I'm like, worst case, like, is Phillip Rivers tossing 3 touchdowns? Probably not. And it has to go to these 3 players. I'm feeling pretty good. And then Alec Pierce catches that first one. I was like, oh, shoot. And then he catches the second one. I was sweating. And then Tyler Warren almost had that corner route one. Woo. And then this. Okay, we can get into this one. Honestly, is ETN a top tier running back next season? So before we even get into this one, shout out to Addy Hudson. I actually made the trade with Addy after the game. Sent a nice GG bro message earlier today. Said if you're wanting to, I have 2 late firsts in 2026. If you want to look to make a trade, I'd be interested. He has a ton of running backs. So I think he has Gibbs, Chase Brown, Rico, and then Kyron, obviously, and ETN, which I traded for here. I think he even has. That's pretty much it of like, he has Blake Corum as well, Jordan Mason. He's got a pretty solid running back room. So, and my running backs, I was going to be starting Javonte and Tyron Tracy, who just lost. I don't think Andrew Thomas is playing this week for anyone wanting to start Tyron Tracy or Devin Singletary. So I know you feel good about Giants close game. Not feeling great about my Tyron Tracy. Oh, okay. I need to take a deep breath there. I'm going to make it close to an hour, guys. I'm pushing. But Travis Etienne and Kyron for Javonte, and this is my first. So this is the 111 or the 112. So I feel pretty good about this overall. Like, I don't think this is too much. Oh my gosh, you're paying for 1 week of production. And I do like the spots for Kyron and ETN for sure this week. This seems pretty nasty. If I'm contending where they have ETN and Kyron personally, 100%. So that's the move I made. I traded away Jerry Jeudy. Javonte, I think Javonte is actually in a pretty decent spot this week, but the neck injury sketched me out a tiny bit. He's losing some work to Malik Davis. I think it's a little bit of like, he's hurt and the Cowboys have nothing to play for. So like, why are they going to load him up with 20 plus touches? I do think they're in a good spot against the Commanders. It's a good matchup. He could easily have 2 touchdowns in this game. But I just like the upside of Kyron, ETN. And I think my team which I wasn't expecting to be a contending team. But wait, I've got it on I got it on Dynasty Daddy here, right? Let's pull it up. This is what you guys are here for, right? If I see a start set question, I'm going straight to it. Don't worry, guys. But this is probably not the best way to show this team. 0.75 tight end premium. This is my weird Bowers McBride team. But I've got Bowers McBride, Nico, Pickens, JMO, Mike Evans, Kyron, Etienne. So basically, it's preventing me from having to start Kenneth Walker, Tyrone Tracy. Yes, there's tight end premium, 0.75 with the Bowers McBride. And then, yes, you get Herbert against Houston, but Stafford as well. Yeah. And Dabby Doobie's team's pretty nasty too. Like this is going to be a good matchup because he gets Jacoby against Cincinnati. I think Jacoby's going to ball out. T-Law's been balling. He loses Quinshawn, but you know, if Jacobs is healthy, he gets Jacob Swift, and then this is scary. JSN, Puka, Zay, and then Marv, probably your Wandell. And then Pitts is kind of balling out. Honestly, Pitts is like right behind Bowers McBride, honestly, like weekly projection wise. So the discrepancy at tight end room is not as juicy as you would think, but I still think juicy. Yeah, I agree. I think there's more crap out potential, but honestly, would you be surprised at all if you get a crap out Nico? I don't want to crap out Pickens. Wouldn't surprise me. Crap out McBride. Wouldn't surprise me. But I feel pretty good about the core. This will be fun to rewatch when Dabadoobie absolutely destroys me this week. Can't wait for that. The collusion. No, this will be a good one. I'm looking forward to this one. All right, enough about me, guys. Enough about me. Unless you guys want more about me. You guys want to see all my other championship games I'm in? Let's see. How many do I have to sweat? I haven't really done all the guys. Check your lineups, okay? And be on the lookout to make moves, because if you have, I know some people are like, I'm gonna be making some moves, you know, Saturday evening, Saturday night. Nah, man. You got 3 games Thursday, right? We got the Saturday games, and then obviously Sunday as well. Let's see. I am in 1, 2. Am I going to start Tyrone Tracy in this league? Jeez. All right, guys. Tyrone Tracy, Kenneth Walker, or Monangai? It's probably got to be Tracy, unfortunately. All right. Sorry, that's not what we're doing. I'm in 1 finals, 2 finals. I have a couple third places that kind of matter. I think 3 dynasty finals, 3 dynasty third places that matter. And by matter, I just mean like I'm actually making more than just my money back if I get third. And a couple redrafts, okay? I had a good redraft year. Let's go. The player takes are okay. How much would it cost to get the 101? Is this in Bravo Daddy? Wait, are we in This is a good question, Ted. I'll have this one next. Wait. Or are you just talking overall? Oh, okay. Sorry. I missed this one. I do have the 101 in Bravo Daddy, which made me think you were talking about that league. Top 5. I think overall it's going to be tough without knowing like landing spots. My understanding of like player projection stuff, like obviously Jeremiah Love, I think is locking into a lot of people's 101, like early first round running back prospect stuff is looking good. And then it's probably 3 receivers. And then I think it's going to be similar to last year where the quarterback starts becoming a conversation around like the 105, 106, but would not surprise me at all if we get some good landing spots, like tail end of the first, early second for some other receivers that, rise throughout the process. And it's a little bit too like, I like Mendoza, but yeah, it's it's gonna be hard to get excited about a Jets quarterback. Well, I'll just start there. Wait, this was a good one though. I wanted to touch on this one. When's the best time to make off-season trades, you think? Closer to the draft or right after the season ends? Right around draft time in a normal league, trade activity spikes big then. For sure. I think, to me, and obviously this isn't ideal. You want everyone to be active, like leading into the draft, but just think about how many people tune in to your leagues and are following what's happening in the NFL and in your leagues right after the NFL draft happens, leading into your rookie draft. So I think like that period of time where everybody knows landing spots and people start to kind of put player positions and names to picks, they become a lot more appealing in certain ranges. You can kind of move around. Now, that might change a little bit if you want to like take advantage of that, or you can kind of perceive, you get a good feel, sportsbook gods, you're like, it looks like there's going to be like 3 receivers in the first round. So it's like, running back, 3 receivers. I want to move my mid-late first picks, whatever. Like, I don't need a quarterback. I'll just move far back. I'm obviously just like totally spitballing, but I think overall, if you have like a long, like 10 hour, like 8 or 10 hour on the clock slow draft, I think on the clock, to me, when you've made it aware that your pick is going to be on the block, is the juiciest time to actually get offers, because there's a time constraint to people acquiring and getting action and access to that, if that makes sense. And they also know exactly what they're trading for. So to me, I've gotten a lot of deals done in my leagues, putting picks on the block as soon as they go up, right after a pick happens. Like a lot of my like 107, 108s, moving backs in ranges where I was able to, get a chance at one of those like Quinchon or Ibuka in this last Ibuka. Well, we can talk about some of the rookies. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about. But yeah, sorry. Big fan of top 5. Love Tyson, Lemon, Tate, Mendoza, all these looks. And yeah, we'll see what the quarterback class is looking like. Because I think I could really, I think like if more declares, depending on how college football playoff stuff looks, like I could see, like if, to me, and I know like NIL stuff is crazy, but to me, I think if his buzz is you're going to be an early first round quarterback pick, which with the teams that need quarterbacks, regardless of, how you feel about them, if it's like more of a project than Mendoza right now, teams take project quarterbacks early. So if he's getting that and declares, like that makes that top 5, 6 feel a lot better too. Okay. Yeah, I moved to 27 first for Javonte, which didn't feel great. But that was a part of that deal that then turned into Kyron and ETN, which feels less bad. Yeah, it'll be really interesting too. I'm really curious to see what the quarterback picks look like. Because obviously, I mean, Cam Ward's played pretty well to end the season, but I think a lot of people, their perspective on quarterbacks who they don't think are going to run their value in Superflex leagues, especially, and it's not just Cam Ward. Like Cam Ward is easy to pinpoint as a lot of people's 105 who wish they would have taken Travion Henderson, who wish they would have, I mean, Quinchon obviously with the injury, but maybe they took him over McMillan, and whatever, the McMillan production has been inconsistent, but I think everyone's confident they would have him over Cam Ward in a redraft or the rookie draft. So, and it's not, so what I'm saying is it's not just Cam Ward, but I think it's the QB production you've gotten for pretty cheap this year. Obviously, Flacco didn't finish the year, but the weeks you got from Flacco, the Jacoby Brissett to end the season, the people who got Matthew Stafford from teams who are like, he might die next season and my team's not pushing, like pocket quarterback who, might retire. I've seen Stafford go for seconds in leagues, Why take 104, 105 Mendoza? Why not take a shot at a wide receiver when you can get Stafford for a second? 2 late firsts be worth the 101? I don't think so. To me, if you're confident they're late, I think it'd be hard for people to take even. I think a lot of people would deny 3 late firsts for the 101, just because to a lot of people, Jeremiah Love is right or wrong Ashton Genty at worst right now in terms of long-term value. And that's not even knowing landing spot. Like, he could get nuts landing spot. You know what team's first round draft pick is right in the range of taking a Jeremiah Love? I don't think they're going to do it, but how about Kansas City at 12? Kansas City at 12. I know Minnesota's been a popular landing spot. Yo, what's good? Would you play Kenneth Walker, Corum, Woody Marks, or Emmanuel Wilson full PPR? If Jacobs is out, it's Wilson for sure. I don't think I'd have the nards to play Wilson just based off of how the Packers game ended. If Woody's healthy and I get a full week of practice, I'm probably going if Woody is healthy, I'm probably Woody, Corum. It's hard for me to trust Ken Walker. Corum's workload's been really good, like the tail end of the season. And this is coming from a guy who just made a big trade to get Dameon Pierce. I love Diaz. And I actually, part of me does kind of wish that this comes to fruition a little bit, because I think Dameon Pierce is good. Or maybe I'm just blinded by the contact balance, all the contact balance tape reviews. Dude, there's just all the he's just in the wrong running scheme takes I've had in my life. I wish they would give him some run. What do you got to lose? Love to the Lions. Let's get weird. Honestly, okay, let's get weird, guys. Yes, 100%, 100%. That's the thing too, you know. Okay. All right, how weird is this? All right, we're on Tankathon right now. Okay. You know what's crazy? This game right here. What do we think happens here? I think Vegas might win this one. Aren't they favored? Pete Carroll, is he coaching for his job? Does he lose it regardless? I think you get QB here. I haven't heard stuff. I've heard that the Jets like Mendoza. Wouldn't surprise me at all if we get if Moore declares and it's like Mendoza Moore, you're locking into the top 5 to these 2 teams that need QBs. Arizona becomes interesting. Wouldn't surprise me at all if they just say, hey, F it, let's not waste a pick on QB right now. Class is better next year. We'll run it back with Jacoby. I don't know. Should we do the... All right, let's... Yes, yeah, for sure. 101 value. Yeah, I said Genty as kind of a... Like Bijan and Gibbs, I feel like you're paying for, the production's there. While Genty kind of feels more like you feel confident that the production will be there. Obviously, we had the crazy game this last week, but everyone that's had Genty this season in their redraft consolation bracket finals, I have a Genty CMC ETN team in a redraft final. I'm looking forward to actually starting Genty this week. I have not played him for like the past 7 weeks. All right, where do we slot Jeremiah Love in? There's no way the Cardinals can go Jeremiah Love. I don't think I can do that, especially this high. Okay, Saints is interesting. I know Kamara ends the season there. I don't think they would do that. Kansas City's the first, like, your years are perking up. Perkin? Yeah. Dude, the Genty start rate. You talk about, I mean, it's probably different in Dynasty because how many I'm sure a lot of Genty teams that were making pushes to like the semis and the finals turned that dynasty value into actual consistent running back production plus wide receiver production or tight end production or something. But redraft, it was probably brutal. All the Genty benches. I'm sure a lot of people did the let me play Michael Carter over Genty. Feel better about the offense. So I know Kansas City, Minnesota's been a popular one. Jets are kind of. I mean, I think Brees. They probably do everything they can to keep Brees there, and just with the, let's get an actual quarterback here. Not do the rookie quarterback and rookie running back thing. I think the defense is too terrible. You trade away Sauce. I don't think you can do two offensive position players. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about the defensive class, honestly, to be making takes like that. But I know a lot about the Jets defense, and it's terrible. So that's what I'm basing it off of. Carolina probably runs back the Rico Chuba split. Hey, Dynasty Jake, I appreciate it. That is let's hear it. I appreciate it. This means more than you know. Especially powering through. I got a cough drop over here, but I'm not popping it for you guys. I got 13 minutes and then I'll pop it. Then, yeah, I don't know. Dude, the Jets need it, man. The Jets linebackers are terrible. Holy cow. Vegas. I don't know. Do you think Rico gets a bag? I don't remember the last time. I'm trying to remember the last and I love Rico, but I feel like the running back free agency has always kind of been, man, none of these backs are getting paid, you know? Like Pollard goes to Tennessee and it's like a fine contract, you know? But I just feel like Rico level running backs, to me, it's always more likely that they just go back to the team versus getting a big bag. But they already paid Chuba, so where do we think Rico goes? I mean, I think it'd make more sense to sign Rico for, 2-3 seasons than drafting a rookie running back in the, I mean, it's Jeremiah Love, but a non-Jeremiah Love running back. Yeah. Yeah, ETN, I think, I do think they both are. Pollard going back to Dallas. Is Pollard have one more year? Rico to Tampa Bay. That's fun. Kind of take over the Sean Tucker. Ooh, yeah. That's like the inverse Miami. Oh. Do they let what's Miami doing at quarterback? You think McDaniel gets his pick of favorite vet? They let him get one bad vet contract. I'd love to see a good vet get 2 years with McDaniel in Miami. The Tua thing is just it's run its course, man. All right, I'm clicking this. Don't lock into this, okay? Dude, how about Shuck, guys? How about Shuck? He's kind of balling. I do think the Saints, and I like Moore a lot. I think it's a good offensive system, but he's playing well. Let's just shout out Taysom Hill, man. I think all the disrespect the fantasy community gives Taysom Hill for being annoying for other fantasy players, and I'm sure everyone's had a redraft league that's randomly had some sort of debate over the legality of Taysom Hill in the tight end spot a couple years ago with the Derek Carr injuries and he's playing quarterback. Awesome player. True NFL player, man. That is a football player right there, 100%. But let's be done. Let's be done with the Taysom Hill experience. A bridge quarterback. Oh my gosh. The Taysom thing is fascinating because of all the regimes that have continued to use him. Like he's like maintained this role. Like it wasn't just like, wow, Sean Payton just has a you know what for this guy. Free Taysom. Taysom was my most, kid you not, 2 seasons ago, my most drafted player in all of best ball on both sites. And I every time I'd see a report that was like, he's Taysom, he'd run through a wall for his coaches. Oh, I ate that up. All right. Ooh, okay. Wide receiver, Commanders. Wow, Saints. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this gets me excited. I don't know anything about. Okay. I've heard that guy. Cardinal Tate. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Do you think Tyreek plays again? Football? Ty Simpson, 18. Hey, dude, Okay. I don't know if we're doing Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson. I don't think Ty Simpson is bad. I just don't think he's mid first. All right, I don't know if we're doing the whole like if you would have told me, you know, blowing my nose, eating a cough drop, taking NyQuil the past 3 nights, that I'd be here pushing an hour solo stream, pulling up the mock draft database, giving a Ty Simpson take, I would have told you you're out of your mind. I'm just so excited. This is it's a beautiful time, guys. It's a beautiful time. All right. Let's lock in a little bit. Undefeated in my main IPD. Ooh, deep. Let's go. The closest I get to IDP is I had one redraft league that had an IDP slot. And all I did was abuse whatever the scoring was and just always had a linebacker because it was heavily tackle focused. So like your awesome defensive end that gets a couple sacks is like meaningless compared to my linebacker that gets, 10 tackles. All right. Did I have? I don't think I had any other. I showed the trade. Man. Any other I am a true degen. Oh, I cannot wait. Guys, stay tuned. All right. Jeremy didn't ask me to say this. I'm saying this out loud. Okay. The Dynasty Daddy trade show will continue consistently. And the Dynasty content will continue as well. Because we all know, I know you guys, I know that the season ends. And I was going to say a couple weeks immediately after the Super Bowl. Because I'm going to be doing that playoff best ball. After the Super Bowl, we're missing football, man. And we're taking a look at our teams, the roster construction, the offseason moves. I know waivers cut off. I'm cutting off waivers in the leagues. Never ends. It never ends. We're not fantasy managers, guys. We are we're like owners, man. We're running these teams. I feel like there's a city behind the teams that want to make sure I'm constructing in the right way. The Will gives highlights again in slow-mo. I have what do I have? We really could. I don't know. The one thing about the best ball drafts is I know a lot of people don't click on those to watch. Yes, true. This scares me though. I don't know if I could do it with the sound effects. I don't know if I could do it. It exists out there. Actually, I don't think it exists out there. I think only the rewatch of the stream exists out there. All right, should I do? Let me time this out. Well, here's what we'll do. So, last week of the NFL season, I'll probably be cranking out playoff best ball drafts. And if you guys are not familiar with the format, and I talked about it before, I think playoff best ball is a fascinating format. It is very much it's a team take thing in terms of the team you're building needs to be advancing because you want to build a team that is live in the Super Bowl with every player you've drafted, and all players that are in all playoff teams are available to be picked. But it is very much like a roster constructing game. You know, players that help you advance. Live mocks with watchers. Yeah, I think we will 100% be doing. We'll be doing rookie draft stuff. I'm sure we'll have like a crew that'll be watching the Dynasty streams. We'll be doing a lot of I want to sneak in some like startup mock stuff too. Like I think that stuff is almost as fascinating as rookie stuff. So I'm sure we'll like scoop in rookies with current players, with like the kicker picks and stuff. I'm sure we'll do one that has the actual like pick values, you know, you sign the kickers to. We're getting close to the hour, guys. I think the throat. Okay, I'm gonna pause myself right there. Sometimes I start saying something, and you know, I'm scared about where it's gonna go. But I'll end here. I'm gonna be active in the Discord if you guys have start sit questions. Not that I am the start sit goat, but you know, I like getting the extra help out there for others and for myself. This is true. This is unfortunate, but it is true. I want to do more best ball next year. I want to do at least one more startup next year for Dynasty Best Ball. There's a lot of things I was looking back at the Charlie Daddy Best Ball draft, and a lot of things I would have done differently. And I think too, things that I think I would have done differently, and things that I've changed my mind on if I would have done differently. Because I do think every league is unique. So I do think there's some things that like trades and moves that weren't able to get done in the Charlie Daddy League that I think will happen in others. That's whatever. Don't trade your first. This is my rule typically in all of my startups. I just don't move my first because I'm not confident enough in my player takes heading into a season to use my first in that capacity. Because I do think I think more often than not, I have had I've 100% done 10 startup drafts. That sounds weird, but I'm trying to put it in terms of like percentage wise. And I want to say probably 40-50% of my startup drafts, I have been intentional about acquiring a first round pick from another team that wants to trade up into a range that I'm comfortable moving back in. Actually, 100%. I always want to do that. But I've been successful in probably like 40% of my startup drafts doing that. And I don't know if there's been a time where I've been like regretting that. Like I feel bad about having an additional first in any way. It's just all like the flexibility. It's so corny to say, but how about in the Alpha Daddy League? You know, this team right here. Let's I'll pull up here real quick. Classic sleeper, not loading the league chat. But, you know, this is the Alpha Daddy team right here. Now, right now, I have moved picks, you know. So I have someone else's 26 first. I don't have my 27. Actually, I don't have any 27 picks, so this is getting kind of sketchy. But this team, you know, I'm in the finals. Stafford, Kyron, Etienne, Pickens, Nico, JMO, Bowers, McBride, 0.75 time premium. Mike Evans, Herbo. I've got a 110. The bench is a little sketch, but you know, you got Juwan Johnson there. You know, I made the semifinals with 3 additional firsts. And that's not like I'm a genius, my player takes rock, you guys are idiots. That is just I am not confident enough in my player takes individually to think that in a startup, I can utilize firsts 100% of the time confidently in a way that will ensure I'm making the playoffs when I make that move. This is true, but it's not what I'm saying. So even though it's true, it's not what I'm saying. The classic. Let me show you a team that's in the finals. 100% of what it is. And that is like, so like when we talk about flexibility, it's a humility thing is really what it is. It's 100% a humility thing. Like people that are so confident, I'm going to move my first to trade up into let me get a 7th and a 10th because I know for a fact Chris Godwin and, whatever 7th, I don't know if I can go back in time and hit a 7th round receiver. Let me move. Okay, BTJ is kind of like a low-hanging fruit one. Let me move my first to get Marv because Marv is 100% a difference maker. And having Marv on this team is going to be the reason I make the playoffs. Like the dynasty asset, there's some merit in conversation there. But like the confidence and the ego to think that 100% is going to get, you get what I'm saying. I don't need to say it 3 times. We got it. In-season management is 100%. And guess what? When you're in season, everybody wants a first, regardless of what team, And on top of that, I've got more data points. I don't just have the 2024 season. I've got, week 1 through 7 of the 2025 season. And right now heading into the finals, I've held these firsts close to my vest the whole season. I made the semis. Hell yeah, I'll send my first out and I'll get Kyron and ETN because heading into week 17, I feel pretty confident that those guys have some pretty awesome workloads, Bang. Made my championship after sneaking in at 7-7 with a 6. Let's go. Shuck and Aaron Rodgers, bring me home. Ooh, I'm a little sketched about the Aaron Rodgers. I got to give him some respect. He's playing his best ball, and it's not fun. It's not exciting. I'm a little sketched about the Cleveland crappy weather game, but lost Mahomes. Okay, yeah. Shuck happens. But dude, Shuck's balling, man. Shuck is balling. Dang, that is actually bars. True. No, I'm and I am it was a big meme. I remember it because I've done a couple years ago. I had a handful of startups with a similar group of people that was like a core of new dynasty people who like fell in love with the game the previous 2 years, if that makes sense. So it was like people I played, like buddies from high school, college, who I had played redraft with a lot, love fantasy football, found dynasty, and like fell in love with the game and wanted to start having this, collection of teams. And it became a big meme, like, Will's always trying to trade back at firsts, whatever. And man, it's just it's the humility. And I am not a genius. And I'm not trading back because I'm a genius. I'm trading back because I know I'm dumb. I know I've got player takes, and I know I like X player a lot more than X player or than Y player. But I also know that, probably 42% of the time I'm wrong about that take, and I'm not willing to pay to be wrong. I'll take the 42% and a first round pick, Wait, okay. Can we say one thing about frickin', oh wait, did they fix it? The humble genius. Okay. Travis Hunter. All right, the Charlie Daddy League. I didn't move the first to, okay. Okay, can we do this? The Charlie Daddy League. I moved the first, and I regretted it. And when I made the move, I regretted it. But the first was not for Travis Hunter. The first was for Colston Loveland, and it was because of the format. And I'm gonna I'm gonna rest my case there. Land the plane. All right, wait. What's the Charlie Daddy finals? Holy cow. Oh yeah, K Scott made some big moves too. Shout out to K Scott. I don't know if you guys know, K Scott is one of my buddies from high school. Cool dude. Fell in love with Dynasty, just like your boy. Let's go. Dude, this would be a good one. Dude, T-Law's hitting at the right time. Diaz. I'm sure you're T-Law and ETN. I'm with you this week. I'm getting some ETN on my rosters. I'm buying this Liam Cohen Jags offense. They're looking good. And I'm sure you felt the same way watching that Colts Niners game, and you're like, ooh, let me get another crazy high total game. Let's go. Let's go. Did you scam me on that CMC trade? Dude, CMC is I hate that the chats won't load. Let me I know that happens heading into this week, but I'm not gonna lie. I definitely honestly, the big K Scott trade, I think, was that Shuck, Mike Evans, Jake Ferguson. I mean, Minshew was tough, but for Tyler Warren, that is a balls to the wall. That's a dynasty. That's a best ball trade right there. I love it. CMC and Jennings. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I want to say if the pieces hit and it's best ball and those four pieces that look a lot worse than CMC, Juwan Jennings, and I can't pull okay, it was Tootin, Mac Jones, Damian Pierce, Alec Pierce, and Diaz a second for CMC and Juwan Jennings, which is 100% I'm in the playoffs, you're not currently trade. And I like Tootin, and I think Tootin is gonna matter and be like a meaningful running back piece for years to come. Damian Pierce, I'm not bought in, but it's fine. He's good. He's in a decent spot, for a team that is probably feeling the Clyde Edwards-Helaire draft pick, so we probably don't see Jeremiah Love, even though he's a much better prospect. But if Mac Jones gets the bridge quarterback spot, and I do think the general consensus, and I know he's under contract with the Niners, but I do think the general consensus feel is that a lot of Mac Jones type quarterbacks are going to get good bridge spots this year with the current QB class. Alec Pierce, I think 100% is going to get a bag. So I think that part of the deal makes it feel a lot better, that you at least have one piece that you're confident is going to be running routes similar to Juwan Jennings, younger, going to get a bag. It's really hard to stare down that CMC. If you get 2 more elite seasons out of CMC, hard to say you don't get fleeced, but obviously it's Dynasty 3 years from now. You're going to be feeling a lot better about having Tootin and Alec Pierce, even though it sounds crazy to say right now. All right. Good luck, Diaz. Good luck, everyone. Much love. Appreciate you all. Stay tuned for I'm gonna do some sort of playoff best ball. I will put some sort of announcement in the Discord whenever it happens that will be, similar to what we've done for these trade shows, where you'll see it on the YouTube channel when that's up. I think Jeremy and I are going to be doing some sort of early look ahead rookie mock soon. Just kind of looking at the early Daniel Jeremiah, whatever mock drafts for the first round and what we're expecting based off of the tail end of the college football season heading into next year. I'll be doing a playoff best ball draft stream. We'll be yapping Dynasty on those as well. Appreciate you all. Much love. Drink water, guys. Drink water, please. Say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever, to your loved ones. And enjoy the time off, Drink water. Go to the gym. relax. Don't do any of that. Stay up late, play video games. Enjoy your life. You only get one. All right, I think that's all I got on me. Much love. See you all next week. Become a champion. There it is. That was the last one. Peace